Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Everquest Old School. And I am here with my Shadow Knight, and you can see that he's level 4. He's about 2 2/3 of a bubble into the level, so not too far until we get to level 5. And because we got so many good weapons from ZK, I think it's going to be a pretty easy time to do that. I don't think we're going to have too much trouble with the creatures over here. So on this episode, we're just going to run off and go hunt. Kind of a nice, relaxing, run through. It doesn't always have to be groups. It doesn't always have to be huge name mobs. You know, you can kind of just log on sometimes and go to a remote area in the game that maybe there's not a lot of people in, and just see what you can tear up, because there's not a whole bunch of people. I killed that thing in one hit. It's amazing how much this weapon does damage. We're getting somewhere around 20 points on average. I mean, sometimes a little bit less than that, but most of the time 20 points of damage, and we shouldn't be getting anywhere close to that yet. So I do definitely feel kind of twinked out, which is a neat little feeling. You don't normally get to feel that too often. I mean, it takes you a high-level character to really start to get equipment that will make your journey through the lower levels a little bit easier. Because, of course, around level 20, level 25, you can start getting, like, bronze armor. And that will make a difference, obviously, but it's not something that you're going to notice a huge difference, depending on how your playstyle is. Now, if you go in there and you get yourself, a really good weapon, and then you get yourself some really good armor, especially if it has procs. I believe it takes, I think it's level 35 or level 40 before the procs actually take effect, so it won't really help your guy out at a low level, but the damage alone and the delay will definitely make an impact, and it is for me. It's just amazing. Instead of sitting here trying to hit them over and over and over again, one or two hits and it's dead. Now, the problem with this was that this weapon used a different skill than what I had to start with. One hit and it died. Oh my god! And these are dark blue to me. These are good experience, and these are what I would normally be killing. Oh my god, this is crazy. I should definitely go off and fight something a little tougher, although I probably will get my butt handed to me, because again, when you fight something a higher level, you got to take into account that it's going to have a higher AC count as well for the most part. Now, if you're taking on a caster, maybe not, but if you're taking on pretty much any class, you're going to have a little bit higher AC count if it's a higher level. And so you're going to have to worry about the fact that you may have a harder time hitting that creature than you do the lower level ones. And when you do hit it, you don't hit it for as hard. Where's that guy running to? A young Kodiak. What level is he? I can't even... I don't know, he must be bugged. I can't even con him for some reason. That's kind of weird. I've never run into an enemy that you can't con, even at large distances, so... I don't know, but I did get a comment on one of our views letting me know a little tip for you guys. If you ever have a corpse, stuck in a tree or something like that, you can obviously pull your own corpse out of a tree without having to target yourself. And if it's the enemy's corpse, you can target it using the U button and then do / loot. And that will allow you to loot the object or the creature from within a structure, like a tree or a wall, or even kind of underneath the floor. Now, if it's too far away from you, if it's fallen, beneath the earth, and it's really far. Oh, this guy is what? He's yellow. Okay, so nice. We got a nice little fight going on here, and I should move my camera out and do a nice little area view. That way, if anything sneaks up on me, I can see it. Am I going to make this one? I don't know, but I do have harm touch, and I may have to use that to survive. Now, that does take a while before it comes back. I believe it's 90 minutes now. It used to be something like 24 hours. I'm going to use it. Boom! And he takes 41 points of damage, non-melee. That's my harm touch right there. Now, the snake rise in the grip of agony. Sorry, I can't speak tonight, guys. But yeah, it's definitely a nice little thing to have. You're not going to be able to really take advantage of it too often, but in those situations where, in fact, I think I have quite a few bandages, so I can go ahead and try to bind wound myself. Now, normally you want to do this in a little bit of a safer place, because you can still get attacked out here. And if you get attacked, your bind wound will get interrupted. I do believe you still lose the bandage, and you don't get the health from the bandage that you just used. So it's kind of in your interest to find a nice, somewhat safe spot. Now, I understand if you're using Bind Wound, chances are it's because you don't have a group. And if you don't have a group, you're probably out in a place that may not be the safest in the world. You may be stuck on a little ledge and you're just camping one little creature and there's not a whole lot of room that you can move around. But if there is, you kind of want to go off into a corner and, you know, just make sure that you're safe, because there's nothing worse than knowing that you could have killed that creature if only you had a few extra, you know, minutes to get your health up, you know, like 5 or 10%. It doesn't take a whole lot to make a big difference in this game. So, and I believe you can only go up to 50%. I never really used Bind Wound all that much. As a Shadow Knight, you get the ability to siphon life off of the enemy at later levels. At level 9, I believe, is when you get your first set of spells. And from then on, you usually find it easier just to constantly get health from the enemy rather than try to Bind Wound. At least in my opinion. That's the way I always play my games. So let's go back out here where it's a little bit safer. We'll wait for our health to go back up, because again, your health will go up whether you're sitting down or not, but it's going to go up a little faster if you're sitting down. So if we can come over here and fight these guys who can't even hit us, and we can kill rather quickly, almost in one shot most of the time. What level is this guy? Oh, he's even. Well, I picked like the only other even character over here. I could have fought any of the other ones, it would have been perfectly fine, and my life would have had a chance to go back up. But no, I had to pick this guy. That is one of the main reasons you need to con every creature that you see. So if you don't con them, you're going to run into issues like this, and you may end up dying. So yeah, just be extra careful, especially at higher levels. You don't really have much of a choice if you want to actually progress through the game. If you keep making, I don't want to say stupid mistakes, but if you make foolish ones, the things that you may not have known better, but you're still making those kind of mistakes, you will find it very, very hard at a certain point in the game to really even get any further than what you're at. I've seen people who are at like level 50 lose 2 or 3 levels going on a raid, you know, to fight a dragon when things just keep going wrong. So it is possible that all that work that you put into it can be lost, and it doesn't really take that much to lose a whole lot of experience. And if you can't find a res, maybe you don't have enough money, maybe you don't know any people on the game, and finding a res is just too expensive for you and you don't really have any other way, you just lose that experience. That is one of the worst feelings in the world, because, you know, at level 45, I remember sitting there in like Solus B, hunting the same room for like 12 hours straight and just earning like 1 bubble of experience. And then when you die, you lose like a bubble and a half. It's amazing how much experience you lose. And a bubble and a half doesn't sound like that much at this level, but then when you consider that 12 hours is a bubble, that's a whole lot of time to lose and not get any of it back. Now, if you get a cleric to res you and he can give you like a 95% res or even a 90% res, you know, you're still going to feel that hit. You're still going to feel like, oh, crap, what did I just do? Why did I let that happen? I should not do stupid mistakes like that. But you're not going to feel as bad as if you just lost 12 hours. That's pretty devastating to lose like an entire day worth of playing. Or if you're, you know, a casual gamer, you know, 12 hours could be, you know, a whole week or something like that. So yeah, that would be even worse as a casual game. I've never really played that casual until recently when I came back. I play, you know, 1 or 2 days a week because I review so many other video games and I just don't have the time to put into it as I would love to be able to sit here for 4 or 5 hours at a given time and really just go to town on a certain zone or a certain camp. Is that their pet? Yeah, that's their pet. I was going to say, they had a little cool looking weapon in there. I figured I'd go get that. Now, again, you want to keep in mind, if you're trying to get a higher level faster over here in this zone, that there is a quest inside that you can turn these fire beetle eyes into. You can also turn the snake skins and the snake fangs into another NPC for a quest. The fire beetle eyes, I believe you needed something like 8 of them to turn in, and the snake skin and snake fangs was a lot less. It was like 2 or 4 a piece. The fire beetle eyes needed to be, you had to talk to the NPC and he would give you a container that you put the eyes into and then combine. So for those of you who are thinking, well, how do you turn in 8 eyes? Well, you're right, you only have 4 slots on any given NPC to turn 4 items in at a time. But if they give you a container, that allows you to to turn more items in, basically, and that was their way of getting around. I guess, you know, it was a kind of, they didn't really ever assume that they would want you to have more than 4 items, I guess, and that's why they kind of made that the default on an NPC. And then at some point, you know, they decided that, you know, maybe we do want you to have a whole bunch of stuff and turn all that in. And so having them give you a container was kind of a cool way of doing that. But at the same token, a lot of people will find out, because almost every startup city has a quest like that that gives you some kind of container. And so what a lot of people would do is go over to that NPC, start the quest, get the container from him, and never use it for that purpose. You know, the Fire Beetle Eye container can put in, I believe, weapons and things of that sort. I believe it's like a medium container, but anything that's medium or smaller can fit in that container. And when you first start off the game, you don't have anything. You don't have any backpacks. You don't have any money. And so getting a free container right off the bat allows you to stay out longer, get more stuff per trip, which allows you to make a little bit more cash a little faster than most people will, because a lot of people, when they get to the point where they run out of space, will make the decision on, do I want to go back now, or do I want to stay out here and just forgo the loot that drops, and maybe, you know, look at what drops, and if anything better, you know, higher price stuff drops, I'll replace the stuff I already have. Which, you know, at higher levels, it's exactly what you do. At these low levels, you loot everything that drops. Or at least you should be, because your spells are rather expensive, and this is pretty much your only means of making money for some time. I mean, you're not going to be hunting anything of serious value at this low level, other than, like, bone ships and the silk that you can sell to other players. But if the server is brand new, like Ragefire just came out a while back, if the server is just brand new, not a lot of characters are working on their trade crafting, and not a lot of characters have the cash to spend on their trade crafting, even if they want to. And so right now, the server on this P99, Project 1999, is well established. Oh, he's killing the black bear. It's yellow to me. You can kind of see he's a little bit of a tweak too. He has a shield, he has a sword, he has a bronze helmet and bronze boots. And he has a cool little chest plate, so yeah, he's definitely a tweak. And he looks like a Shadow Knight as well, so... Yeah, Shadow Knights, I think, are some of the just all-around fun to play. I mean, they have a lot of different roles that they can have in a group, depending on the group makeup. I've had my role as a Shadow Knight change so many times. You join the group and they already have a tank there, you can be the backup tank. Or if you join the group and there's no tank there, but they kill it so quickly because they have so much DPS in the group that you literally just become the puller. You're not even in the room very long. You just pull it into the room. They root it. You run out of the room. As long as you're not too far away, you still get experience when it dies. And so a lot of the time I would, you know, run down the hallway. I would figure out where the line was, where I would not get experience and where I would. And I would pull everything within that area, but if I had pulled everything already and there wasn't anything within that line, I would run to the end of it, stop, wait for them to kill it, and then move on. And that would, you know, it's only saving you like 4 or 5 seconds, really. But if you consider a group that can kill within 4 or 5 seconds, that's one kill that you're saving, or that you're getting, that you wouldn't normally be getting because you're having to run that distance after the fact. After killing the mob, then you start running. And so it's just one of these things about efficiency. You know, when you get into a really good group, you want to take advantage of it because you don't get into those groups very often. It's one of those things where you have to have not just the right group, but the right makeup of classes, but you have to have the right people behind those classes. Occasionally, I've seen it many times actually, where you would get somebody in your group at a high level, and the group has been going really good. You're getting a lot of experience, and then you lose somebody, and it's not even a class that is really vital. You know, like you can get along without it if you absolutely had to. And, you know, when they leave and you get somebody else, all of a sudden the experience kind of goes down a little bit. Like you're not killing nearly as fast, even though you may have gotten, you know, a more vital class. And it's because the person that joins you, for whatever reason, is not participating as much as they could. You know, they could be casting a little bit more, they could be, you know, buffing a little bit more, they could be doing a whole bunch of stuff that they may not be doing, and it's amazing how you'll be able to tell that. Like, if you join a group right off the bat and you're new to the group, it's very hard to tell who's doing what, and if they're all, you know, doing everything that they're supposed to until you've been there for a few minutes, and you can watch the chat, and you can watch the combat logs, and see who's casting what. But when you've been there for a while and somebody else joins, it is very, very apparent. So my suggestion would be pretty much any time you're playing your class, you should play it to, you know, the level that you're comfortable with playing it. You know what, we could probably take him. But if you join a group and you want to make a good impression, you need to be like right on the ball right when you join, because that's when people will notice. I'm not saying to join, do that, and then, you know, 10 minutes down the road when people aren't paying attention as much, start to slack off. But if you join a group and you're on the ball right when you first get in. Ooh, somebody gave me so. Nice. Or sow, however you guys want to say that. Let's see. I was going to say thank you, but I think he ran away already. Yeah, he ran away. Now, I did get a comment on one of my videos letting me know that it is pathing, not paving. And all I can say to that is, yeah, you're probably right, but in a game like this that's an MMO with so many different people who play, it's very, very hard to say what is the right or wrong pronunciation, because so many people have different dialects. And if you have somebody... Oh, there's a lot of food here, apparently. Pick this stuff up. Here we go. So if you have somebody who's from Germany or France or, you know, Austria or wherever, and they have their accent, and they read a word like that, and you got to remember that this game did not have a voice speak or any kind of communication over the phone kind of thing. So you just read the word and you pronounce it the way you would pronounce it in your language. And so a lot of people over the years got accustomed to saying these certain pronunciations of these words in certain ways, that when the developers finally came out and started talking about it in like you know, videos and in interviews and things of that sort, and they started actually saying it the way they always envisioned it to be pronounced, a lot of people would disagree with them. Like they ZK is saying stuff. Yeah, I'll talk to him in a few minutes here. But yeah, they all have their own different ways of saying it, and I think it's like that old thing, you know, tomato, tomato. It's the exact same thing, and as long as you can understand what they meant, you know, whether they said it right or not, I think is kind of immaterial, because as language progresses, I mean, when I was young, a lot of words that are around now didn't have the same meaning that they have now, and you know, people are perfectly fine with it. So, you know, words progress, words change, the meanings behind them change, and the way you say them changes. And so, you know, it's just like so or sow. You know, I've heard it both ways, and I've heard people who are very dedicated and very passionate about that they're saying it right. I'm not really that way. I mean, I'm more than happy to say it both ways every single time. I think it's probably easier if I just say Spirit of the Wolf from now on. If I can ever get into the habit of doing that, I always forget that that's kind of what I've been trying to do, is just, you know, just say the name of the... let me grab this real quick. Now, if you do get a high-quality bear skin or wolf skin or pretty much any kind of skin, my suggestion would be to go over to Eastern Commons and sell it. We're going to try to take him on. He's an even. Because if you sell it over there, you can make a pretty decent amount of money off of a few of those. And what people will do is use those to make either armor or backpacks, anything that they require a high quality in their tailoring skill. But again, if you're on a brand new server and nobody's really at that point yet, nobody's really gotten to the point where they can actually start doing something with their tailoring and have the money to spend, then the prices may be completely different on your server. I mean, granted that bone chips are about 10 platinum here for a stack, but 10 platinum is not a whole lot of money considering the server's been around for so long. And so there's a lot of high-end items going for 15 or 16 or 17,000 platinum just for the one item. Now that's pretty standard to what it used to be in classic Everquest when it first came out. It got to that point rather, I won't say rather quickly, but after, you know, about a year and a half, items were selling for that amount. So it's not outrageous, but it does show you that 10 platinum isn't really all that much money. But on a brand new server where you're selling, you know, a stack of bone chips for, say, 10 gold, and, you know, some of the best items in the game at the moment are selling for, say, 10 platinum, that 10 gold means a whole heck of a lot more than that 10 platinum you get on this server. And so you got to keep that in mind. You got to remember and look at the kind of the bigger picture and see, well, what are the prices going for the items that I actually want? And another cool thing is, at least on this server, if you're going back reverse on the other server, it kind of sucks on that one, but because you can make 10 platinum for a stack of bone chips here, when you want to buy your spells, which is, you know, very set in price. I mean, the spells don't change just because you're on a different server that's been around for a longer time. Am I not hitting this guy? Come on, let me hit him. Come on, kill him. There we go. But yeah, so if you get 10 platinum and your spells cost 1 platinum apiece, you know, that's a set price. So it's kind of probably going to suck for you if all you're making is 10 gold. But, you know, again, depending on what you're trying to do with it is where it comes into play. Let's loot all this up. And we will kill this black bear over here. You know, he's yellow. Yeah, we'll do it. We'll try it. I think we can take him. If not, we can maybe run. We do got Sal, Spirit of the Wolf, or So. All three are the exact same spell. That's going to get way too complicated to say that every single time. Yeah, I think I'll just say Spirit of the Wolf. Let's see, how much experience have we made? I think we're going to be able to kill this guy rather easy. And the only reason we're killing him is because we got such a great weapon. And again, I got to give shout-outs to ZK for that. It's a really, really nice weapon, this spine pincer. Let's loot this guy. Man, none of these guys are dropping any corpse or any hides today. I'm actually getting more webbing off of the spiders than I am off of, or at least loot-wise, I'm getting more webbing that's worth more off of these guys than I am getting off of the bears dropping their, not even like low-level quality pelts, but like no pelts whatsoever, which is pretty weird. Usually those are pretty easy to get for the most. I mean, they're worth something because they are kind of rare at times, but every single time I've been hunting over here lately, you know, every 1 or 4 bears, or not every one, every 3 or 4 bears that I kill, I get at least one of those pelts. It may not be a high quality, but I still get a pelt off of it. And I think we killed, what, like 5 bears, and we've only gotten, I don't even think we gotten one. I think we got, those are all off of the wolves that we've gotten so far. Let me look in here. Got a lot of fire beetle eyes. I may just go turn that quest in as well. Yeah, that's a wolf one. Nice. Nice, guys. We just got to level 5. So I think what we're going to go ahead and do is end the episode here. If you do enjoy these videos, guys, please hit that like button, subscribe. Definitely helps grow my channel, and I greatly appreciate it. Also, if you have any comments, make sure that you leave them down below. I love hearing back from you guys. I love hearing little tips and tricks that you guys have discovered that I haven't mentioned yet. Because even though that I have played this game for many, many years, I am still just coming back to it. So there's a lot to learn, a lot to relearn, and just little things like that. So again, if you got helpful hints for any of the viewers, make sure to leave those down below, and I will give you credit for them. I forgot to mention Bushido, or I can't say it probably, but it's the old like Japanese, you know, samurai warrior code. Was the name of the guy who told me about, or the name of the person, I shouldn't say guy, but the name of the person who told me about using the U button to select the creature in the wall or in a rock, and then using the /loot command to actually loot it even though it's in the wall or in the rock. And so, yeah, I want to give a big shout out to him. And again, guys, thanks for watching, and I will catch you all next time.